Hello and welcome back to Behind the Mat. My name's Tara, owner and founder of the Mindfulness movement, and we are embarking on a new season, one of my favorites, Cozy Fall. In this episode, we are going to dive into my favorite fall yoga and mindfulness props for kids that I know you will love and your kids will love even more. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I can't wait to share these cozy fall props with you. So, it's pumpkin spice season. It's here. It's upon us. This time of year brings about the perfect environment for your kids' yoga and mindfulness classes because we are celebrating all things that remind us to slow down and be present and mindful. Fall is the perfect time to slow down for yourself as well. Reorganize your space, pull out those materials that have been collecting cobwebs all summer long, and really come back to your area where you find inspiration. That could be your office, like mine. That could be somewhere in your home or in nature that really helps you ground and reconnect with why you love teaching and, of course, what you want to accomplish in your teaching this season for both your business, but also for yourself and your students too. I love to do this practice through a little mindfulness journaling. It's something that I really value doing with my students, but also with myself too. So if you can, maybe for the next few minutes, take some time to just center yourself, come back to your breath, and think about what do you want to accomplish this season? Is it more balance for yourself? Your work-life balance? Is it more growth or energy for your business? Is it creating something new, cultivating a spirit of creation, of color? Fall reminds us of these things with the many magical things that are happening around us and inside of us too. So take that time for yourself to really use this video as inspiration for you in your tiny small business or big one to think about what you want to accomplish and what you've already done so far. If you teach kids yoga, you know that props are the heart of your classes because they really get your kids excited about how they can use yoga and mindfulness for fun. Just like kids like to play with toys, they love anything that you bring into the space that's new, that's different, that's exciting, that they get to turn to touch and feel. So just like us, a class I took today, I was in a Pilates. I'm like, what do I love so much about Pilates? I mean, yeah, it has the stretching of yoga and the form and foundations of dance, but it also has this incredible prop, the reformer, right, that I get to play on, something that I don't have at my house. Your kids feel this way when they come to your yoga and mindfulness classes with the things that you bring in and create with, not just the yoga mat, right, but those little things here and there can spark so much excitement for your classes and keep kids coming back for more because they want to know what the next surprise is, what they're going to get their hands on. So today I'm going to share with you a few of my favorite props for fall, and I hope that this sparks imagination and excitement for you and for your classes, just gives you some new things to put into your teaching tool bag that you can get behind and know that they really, really work and they've been tested and tried and true and will provide value to you. The first prop I want to share with you is such a great one because it's not just good for October, but it's great all the way through the entire season, right? Into November, into Thanksgiving, into the entire season of fall and autumn, and that is leaves. These leaves that I have and have been using for years now are really cheap. I think I got them on like Temu or something like that. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. I'll provide links to everything, of course, in this video so that you can get them easily and you don't have to spend any time looking around if you don't want to. But these little leaves are excellent for so many things in your classes, including games and, of course, into your foundation of teaching. The first one I want to show you that you can use with this is a breathwork exercise. I call this little game leaf blowing, and it is perfect and cheap and provides a ton of value. So what you're going to need is a straw, one for yourself, one for kids. I found that you can even save more and waste less by actually cutting the straws. So for example, this one's a lot smaller than the typical. I kind of cut it in half, as you see. That way you're not wasting a ton of straws every time you teach this, and you really don't need that much length to accomplish this activity. So you'll use your straw, and you'll also use a leaf. Each student can have their own. You are going to teach mindful breathing by, of course, taking a deep inhale through the nose, and then encouraging your students to exhale through the straw. to blow the leaf across the floor, across their mat. I love that you can do so many different variations with this activity, such as practicing on their own first to get the hang of it, and then you can give them a lot of space depending on the room or the environment that you're in. I love to use like a length of a gym. You can have kids start on one side and then give them like a goal of putting some cones out, or just standing somewhere where you're like, can you blow it from this side of the room to this side of the room? That encourages endurance. It's helping your students really build up their lung capacity. All things that as kids yoga and mindfulness teachers, we want to teach, but now we've put a fun spin on it, right? We've made it into a game. We've made it playful. Your students will value this so much, and you'll find that your students will be very interested to give this a try and have a lot of fun. That I want to share with you is, of course, my Medi Teddy. I did a little snippet on my Instagram. If you don't follow me there, make sure you do now. This is a costume that I got from Medi Teddy this year. There are so many options on Amazon that you could put your Medi Teddy in. I had a really hard time deciding. I went with the unicorn because it's just so cute. I do hope to get myself a matching outfit. Yes, I do. I think my sister has one. Maybe I can borrow it. So I dressed my Medi Teddy just to give a little variation, a little surprise, a little something different to a tool I use all the time. This was not very expensive. I think it was like $10, and it fits Medi Teddy perfectly, and clearly he just looks so cute. You know, if you've taught kids yoga before, how excited they will be to see this new addition to our classroom. And I told everyone on my Instagram that it would be such a great idea if you actually ordered multiple of these costumes, different types of them, and had a whole dress your teddy for yoga situation around Halloween. Last year, I actually did a whole class where I had costumes for the kids to try on. They loved that. It was fun. But I think this would be an even better way, because I have enough teddies now to give to each of my students to really get them excited about dressing up their teddies. I think they would love that even more than the dressing themselves up, because then you have to worry about what kind of clothes you have on underneath. You don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, right, with the choice that they get. No one's really like fighting over costumes, because everybody gets to instead share their excitement for creating and getting their teddy ready for yoga. I love that idea, so make sure you try it out if you're interested. This next one could not get any cuter. Come on. This is my little marshmallow fidget. It's a stress ball. It actually comes apart. And kids are obsessed with this. They can't wait to get their hands on it every single year. I wish I had a bunch of these. I did find a like bulk package of them on Amazon. I'll link that in the show notes here, that you could get a bunch so that everyone could have their own, or even take it home as a goodie prize. But I actually have my next prop to show you that I have left over from last year. So I'm not going to buy a bunch of these yet, because I have still some stress balls that I'll show you next. These are little mini pumpkin stress balls that I got last year. I still adore these and love them, and they came with so many. I want to say it was like over 100. You get like multiple color variations too, and this was just the perfect little giveaway for all of the fun fall workshops I did last year for families and kids at local libraries, in my local neighborhood. These are fun. I did order them initially for pumpkin spice yoga and found that they worked okay for balancing, but not quite as much as I would have preferred them to. So I think I decided to instead use these for like gameplay, and then of course as a little giveaway. So fun, so cute, so mindful. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with pumpkin spice yoga. That is my thing. That is my fall favorite. Truly, number one takes the cake. I have a deck of kids yoga cards that I created called Pumpkin Spice Yoga that I utilize all season in so many different ways. So if you haven't gotten your hands on these, make sure you do after you watch this video, or right now, pause it and go get them now. I'm obsessed with these cards because, like I've said about pumpkins and leaves, you can use them all season long, not just for Halloween. It's not just like a niche product like my Yoga Poser Dare. Again, they're great for October, but like this one is going to be a tried and true, not just for October, but for November too, right? So each card comes with a yoga pose. This one is easy pose, of course, and you're balancing the pumpkin in a specific spot. So that's on your head. Kids love having the opportunity to read the card and to teach the pose. And then down in that little area where the pumpkin spice latte is going to be a extra challenge. I don't always use those every class, so I love that this deck provides ample opportunities for you to utilize it in lots of different ways, right? So let's say, for example, last week I taught mostly first and second graders, and I found that I didn't even need to tap into those extra challenges because just the act of balancing was interesting enough for them and exciting enough, and my hands were often tied with helping them get the pumpkins onto their heads or onto their backs. They just love that extra support and adjustment that just counting down and having them practice the pose with the pumpkin was plenty. But had I had middle schoolers or even like a little bit upper elementary kids, like 5th or 6th grade, I would definitely utilize those challenges because they're gonna rock these poses out. They're gonna have that balance and that large motor coordination already set, so they're gonna need a little something extra, a little spice, dare I say. So in this one it says, an easy pose, shrug your shoulders 4 times without dropping your pumpkin. So your students would put their pumpkin on their head. I have a pony in, so you always have to work with different hairstyles, but it can be done. I'll prove it to you right now. 1. I've been asked quite a bit what kind of pumpkins I use for my pumpkin spice yoga, and I wanted to go through a few options with you here now. One of those would be the stress ball pumpkins. I found that these don't exactly do what I want them to do. They do work fine, but I found some better options that I want to share with you as well. These are a great keepsake though. I actually started with these little guys. They lasted me the past 3 or 4 years, so they're a great option. They are plastic, and they don't hurt when they fall off, and they are hard, not like so hard that if you stepped on it, it wouldn't break, but they're hard enough and sturdy enough that they'll last you a long time. I like these. They are a little bit slippery, but they do the job just fine. I got these off Amazon, and then in divine timing, one year I actually stumbled upon a bunch of them at a garage sale. I still can't believe that. So these little guys were kind of my destiny and just maintained my favorite prop for a long time until this year when I stumbled upon something new. And that is stuffed pumpkins. I've seen a bunch of DIYs on Instagram actually to like make these out of socks too. So if you haven't seen that before, maybe check it out. If you have a lot of time on your hands, you could create them or maybe even do it with like a class as a workshop. That's a great idea. But I got lucky because I found these while I was deep into summer camp prepping and going to my local Dollar Tree like every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I saw these many months ago and I was like, oh my gosh, I need those. I literally bought every single one. So there's a bunch of colors they had. There was pink and orange, of course, and then I think there was like white and green and blue. I have those over on my shelf, but I loved the variety of that, and I love that these are plush because kids just love something furry, right? Something cozy to hold, and they also worked really good with the squish factor. My plastic ones didn't do the trick, of course. They're hard, so I love that for these you can get like the benefits of the stress ball for inhaling and squeezing your pumpkin and exhale letting it go. I love that you can incorporate that with these little guys, and they're sturdy enough to balance with a flat bottom. My local Dollar Tree had these. Thank you so much. Ow. Just kidding. It's not a real fire. This is my little fireplace. Got this in the dollar section at Target, whoop whoop, a couple years ago. It came with the cutest little marshmallow sticks to roast over. This is great for just setting the scene for your fall yoga classes. It also becomes a prop not just for fall, but for an entire lesson on camping. If that's something you're interested in, drop a comment below, because I made a whole deck of camping yoga cards and much more, a full lesson plan that I have on my digital shop if you're interested in that. There's an entire story by, let me check, Giselle Charlot, I think is how you say her name, Giselle Charlot. She created a whole camping yoga storybook that you can incorporate with this fire, with the toasting marshmallows, with the cute little fidget I showed you before. This fidget also comes with another fall favorite of mine, which is this little cup of hot chocolate. I love that this one's gonna last you not only through pumpkin spice season, but also into winter when you do hot chocolate breathing. It's the perfect prop for that. I like to introduce this to my students as, how much whipped cream do you like on your hot cocoa? I let them choose by twisting it to whatever level, and of course this allows you to get to know your students better and their personalities, right? You're gonna have some that want all of the frosting or all of the whipped cream, and some that just want a little. This allows them to kind of use the prop as they breathe, and they're excited to share about themselves with the class. So that's a little tip on how to utilize this. For Prime Day, this was I think $10 for this. It comes with a deck of mindful moments, little cards. I actually laminated mine and put them onto a little, I don't know what you call that, one of those. For longevity, because it wasn't the greatest quality. I think that's why the product isn't too expensive, but it really is a nice little thing to throw in your bag. I like to bring this for personal use to football games when I'm going to see my little niece. She loves to use those props, and then these just give us a super easy grab and go way to play with them. Last but not least, I am obsessed with this sensory shaker. I have a bunch of these, one for each season. I'll link it below as well. This is such a great tool to have all year round. It comes with, I think, one for each season, so you can bring them all year round, and kids are excited to see the new one. It's a great way to just close a chapter and open a new one to be what season are we entering? This is a great little reminder that you could bring out. You can give students a turn. If they're there early, they can play with this. I like to just have all of these things on hand when I'm teaching fall lessons, because as we know, there's unpredictability, right, in the ebb and flow of class, and sometimes you just need something like this for a little cool down moment, for a little break. Maybe you did a mindfulness journaling exercise and a student completed that work early and they just need a second to lay on their mat and be cozy and be calm. These are such a great way to do that, and I love this orange color for fall. So those are some of my cozy fall favorites. I hope you found this video helpful and that you might add a couple new things to your fall yoga teacher props. Of course, this is my reminder that you don't need to be a consumer. You don't need to buy anything new this season. I hope it also helps you utilize things maybe you already had laying around at home that you could just incorporate and use in brand new, exciting ways. Thanks so much for tuning in to Behind the Mat. My name's Tara. This is the Mindfulness Movement, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel so that I can keep creating amazing content like this for you. And drop a comment below, what are you most excited to try in your kids yoga and mindfulness classes from this video this season?